Hello world economic nearly the weekend news people. Let's start with MBA purchase applications index United States and have a look at its shape. That's all we really need. It's a very much when she was up and then other things happened sort of chart. And we read from the article Calculated Risk. The average contract interest rate for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage increased to 5.13% from 4.18%. That's quite an increase. Dangerous direction for it to be going in as well. It won't make that first chart any better. Carl Denninger. Counties engaged in tax fraud. I won't read it. I'll just tell you what happens. This is counties engaged in tax fraud. What they do with the banks, it's the banks that do it, and the counties hang off the back of the bank's naughtiness, is the banks get a defaulted property, auction it off, and bid for the property the amount that they are owed, the full amount, knowing that nobody will overbid that, and the bank gets the property back. Now after that it can put it on the market again, but the job is done for the bank's books. They have a number that they more like, that they can base some of their estimated value assumptions on, but then so do the counties for their tax assessing. They take that bank false bid as an estimate for the value of housing in the area and base taxes on that, when they really shouldn't. That's very naughty. Worth reading to get Carl's view on that, although you can imagine what it is. Financial Times, Robin Harding in the Financial Times gives us Fed fund futures. This is doesn't too long to explain it. Give a 22% chance of a rate hike by August. This is the Fed raising rates. 22% by August, 41% by September, 54% by November, and 67% chance of a rate hike by December. Harding comes in with, I will bet $100 that the Fed does not raise short-term rates by the November 2011 meeting. Any takers? And I say, not me, all yours. I'm not going to bet against that. He and I have probably seen this next chart from the next link, Financial Times again, based on Merrill Lynch data. You can see that the short-term rates came down at the end of 2008, hit the ground end of 2008, and as we know they're still down there, but those little red projections up are the Fed fund Fed fund futures that predicting any moment they're going to raise rates, but they never do. And I'm even going to pencil in they never will again. A little token gesture, but nothing. Dayton Daily News, and here we go and get our hands on some more down-to-earth things. Dayton city leaders say that the $28 million Dayton has received in federal neighborhood stabilization program funds to aggressively target neighborhoods hit hardest by foreclosure will only make a small dent in the growing list of vacant and deteriorating properties, now estimated to be as high as 10,000. The program's money, which is expected to dry up after 2014, amounts to the demolition of only about 1,500 structures. Not enough. Housing officials estimate they will need an additional 20 million to 30 million in funds, money the city does not have, to deal with the remaining vacant housing stock. There are problems. And this chart, to give us more detail of it, of the Dayton problem, is the amount of houses that they consider on the nuisance list and how many have got to be ripped down. From northwest, Fair Oaks, northeast, southeast, downtown, there's only 3 on the nuisance list and none to tear down. But inner west, 279 on the nuisance list with 59 to tear down, and in the southwest 480 on the nuisance list with 93 to tear down, and they're running short of money to tear them down. and tearing them down is the best thing to do, because rotting houses lead to all sorts of knock-on problems. This little chart is just self-explanatory. I've got nothing much to say about it. If you're looking at it, you can see that these are the basic charts of stock charts of the United States. S&P, Dow, all of them rolled in together, and how they were going down until China put a fiscal stimulus package in, which was monstrous in 2009. QE1 started at the time of the March lows. They reached a peak when QE1 finished, went down a bit, and then QE2 started again, and they're on their way up. Correlation, cause, we don't know. We only think. Net, Anglo-Irish Bank chairman. Irish banks need another 50 billion. What makes the 50 billion euro number so staggering is this: the additional capital number just named by Dukes exceeds the total 46 billion euros that banks have already received. This is for recapitalization, but that's 46 billion and NAMA and all that sort of stuff. FT Alphaville, where did Ireland's secret liquidity go? Now, I'm not really on this article, because this article just says Bank of Ireland, Bank of Ireland, Bank of Ireland. I just wanted it to be known out there, because we're following this Bank of Ireland central bank are allowed to create money from thin air thing. They're allowed to do it by the European Central Bank, but there is a overriding proviso here, and the proviso is, yeah, dudes, but if you make a loss, that falls onto your country's treasury. And that is the deal. Yeah, you can do the fresh air money creation, you can take things as collateral, but if it all goes to shit, don't come to us, it will fall on your national treasury, and that is the deal. And we can presume it's the same for other countries in a similar position. Guardian Co UK, record £9.2 billion trade deficit dents hope of export-driven recovery in the UK. Big trade deficit. I'm getting the vibes that what's going to happen might be that the European team get together and pull Irish corporate tax rates up to their levels, so they're happier. And the UK will be planning now to then dive in under the minimum Irish levels and try and sniff out and pull away as much of that corporate funny money. You base your theoretically base your siège. I can only think of the word in French. Your seat in the country, and I'm sure the UK is looking to pull that business over to to London. Bloomberg, US corn supplies cut as ethanol use climbs, smaller global crop projected. So that's what you use for your corn in America. Brilliant, absolutely fabulous, well done. The Jerusalem Post. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday called a meeting for Wednesday morning in hopes of preventing a general strike in protest of rising prices of staple items such as bread, water and fuel. Weekly US retail gasoline prices, it's a nice chart to keep an eye on, and you just only need a glance of it. It goes back to 2008, ramp up to 2000, goes back to 2000, the ramp up to 2008, the drop back, the overcompensation, and then the definite trend of direction, easily visible up. And let's finish with some crucial information from the source OECD with UBS Bank estimates. Which countries have the most dentists per capita? This is sort of stuff we need. Down at the bottom is Mexico. They only have 10 dentists per 100,000 inhabitants. The UK, only 42, is not many. More in France, 67. But Greece, for some reason, has 127 dentists per 100,000. They have 127, where the United States has 60, over twice as many dentists in Greece. But Mexico only have 10. It's a weird world out there. Good weekend. Bye.